With Tier 2 gear upcoming, I want to go over the changes to the Material Transmutation system that we may very well see. For example, a conversion Tier 5 allowing you to get Tier 2 weapons, also armor and accessories. Now we cannot guarantee how it's exactly going to be for us on global, as they may very well change some things before it actually comes to us. But we can look at this full system here on Korea, which has all of the Tier 2 epic gear. You can simply trade in items, they give you these points, and you can now get to Tier 5, allowing you to get this new epic level 2 equipment. You will also get trait resonant stone fragments, which will be for another video, but ultimately will allow you to gain a bonus on items that are max traded, or even completely switch one max trait to another max trait. But let's get into this new update that we'll see with the Material Transmutation and how you can save up to potentially get some easy Tier 2 gear when the update drops. So if we look at the system here on global, you'll find the common things. A purple Tier 1 weapon gives you 2,182 points versus a Tier 1 armor piece giving 1,092, half as much. And then you can look at the blue items, so a blue weapon 437 and a blue armor piece 218. And blue armor pieces and blue accessories, they're all the same thing there. And keep in mind, you can even donate like gemstones. I'm not going to cover this specifically, but be aware that's a possibility. And it's going to depend how many of these you want to save up for that. Maybe you don't need any more Marind, or then saving those for this instead of say selling for Solent can be a very viable strategy. And on global, the maximum tier is 3, and when selecting a specific item, that gives you 100% chance to get any one of these items. So for the weapons, that's all of these. You can see, yeah, it's not dropping like the best stuff. But looking at accessories, you could even get the Band of Universal Power, the Belt of Blood Dust. So the possibility to get some very valuable items is there. And now if we look on the Korean server, you can now get to Tier 4 and even to Tier 5. While just on Tier 4, if we say select the weapons, you can see they have a 92% chance that you just get a Tier 1 item. An 8% chance that you get a Tier 2 item, this being as the weapons category. If you select armor, you can see it's a 16% chance to get a Tier 2 armor piece, with then Tier 5 going to a 25% chance to get this armor piece. You also get bonus items, so on Tier 5, you're going to get these common materials, which we have right now, some magic powder, but also more of these resonant stone fragments, which we mentioned earlier are going to be for a new system that we've yet to get. And just on Tier 4, those bonus rewards are the same, just a little bit less, and you only get, say, blue powder instead of purple, and only 10 instead of 15 of those trait stones. But if we actually look at all of this gear, so we have the armor pieces here, and then we even have the different Tier 2 weapons here, we can see what bonuses they're going to be and see if there's actually any good ones. So we'll just quickly go over the weapons. You're going to get these daggers with the Mortal Stigma bonus, these ones as well with the Frenzied Slash bonus, then this Sword and Shield with the Devastating Chain bonus, another Sword and Shield with the Purgatorial Barrier bonus, then a Great Sword with the Judgment Wave bonus, and another Great Sword with the Blazing Tornado, then 2 staffs, one with the Lightning Spear bonus, and another with the Icebound Gust bonus. You then get 2 bows, one with the Shining Moon and Deadly Grave bonuses. You get 2 crossbows, one with Night Panther, another with Wild Barrage, and then 2 wands, this one with Nightmarish Magic Circle, and another with Invigorating Salvation. Then there are some additional weapons, but all of which do not have a bonus. So usually they won't be the best ones to go for, but you can have a look at the different stats on those. And then the new addition was the spears with a recent update. So Mad Wraith Spear with that Sacred to Death bonus, then another with Wind Blades bonus, And that's it. The other spear is just another one without a special effect. So there are some useful ones here, but in general, they may not be the best for all builds. So more niche cases, and there's probably going to be field boss ones and arch boss ones, which will be a bit more superior. I did cover a dedicated video that goes over all the different weapons that you'll be able to obtain, and you can have a look at that, what to expect. And be aware again, we don't know when we'll be actually getting all these gear pieces, and they may not all be available as soon as the update to the Material Transmutation is here. Again, getting to tier 5, we can also select to get, say, armor instead, and we can see the different type of armor pieces we're going to get. Again, it's a 25% chance you get one of these armor pieces in the current state of Korea at tier 2. Otherwise, 75% chance you just get a tier 1 item that we can currently obtain in our game. Now, all of these gear pieces are going to give different set effects, but they don't have all of these sets. Again, I did cover in a video all 16 different sets we're going to be able to obtain, but this Material Transmutation will only give us 7 of those different sets out of 16. But who knows, they may update it. There's the Abyss Slayer set with all these gear pieces, the Dawn Mist set with those, the Holy Ghost Fighter set with these, the Sacred Vanquisher set with all of those pieces, and the Wind Gale set with these pieces. Then there's also the World Tree set with these, and finally the Wraith Knight set with these. And you can see at the bottom of each of those where they're coming from, but again, I did cover in a previous video all of those sets and more details on them. There is some additional tier 2 gear here that you can obtain, but it doesn't have any set bonuses. They'll just give you different stats, and you might want to use it as, say, your 5th gear piece that you're not using to create a set. And there will be cloaks as well, which I haven't covered, and they'll have all different sort of stats, and of course you will be wanting to get one versus what we're currently using due to the level going to 12 and then the extra stats you gain overall as a result. Finally, then with accessories, you'll have a 25% chance to get one of these at tier 5. And again, you have all of these different rings, belts, bracelets, and necklaces. Again, they just have all different stats, and they'll be going to, say, level 12, but it's very likely accessories won't come for quite some time, even after we get tier 2 armors. But now let's look at the feasibility of this and how you can actually use the current gear we have in the game to maybe get some easy tier 2 items moving forward. So what I want to look at now is the actual drop rates on those. When we compare versus global, you will find that when you look at the system on Korea, you'll find, say, on tier 3, that there's a 60% chance you just get, say, a blue weapon, and only a 40% chance you get a purple one. If you compare that on armor pieces, it's a 40% chance to get a blue armor piece with a 60% chance to get a purple armor piece. And that's actually different to what we have here on global. When you get to tier 3, which is our current max, requiring 5,000 points, you get a 100% chance to get a purple weapon. And with armor, it's also a 100% chance to get a purple armor piece. Same with accessories. So we may very well get this changed then as well. We need 5,000 points to get a guaranteed tier 1 gear item. Korea has it very differently. And that is one of the differences we have between the servers. And that difference may carry over to tier 4 and tier 5 with this Material Transmutation. We may very well have a 100% chance to get a tier 2 item with 7,500 points. That's what you need to get to tier 4. You need 10,000 points to get to tier 5. In terms of how many gear items that it then requires to gain these points, we've seen that already, but a quick table is right here. A tier 2 epic weapon would be 6,500 points. So you nearly have enough already to get tier 4. You need like 1.5 of them to get to tier 5. But you'll of course use other items to get that far. And if we don't have tier 2 right now, you can see tier 1 weapons and tier 1 armor and accessories still give a ton of points, the weapons in particular, and you would only need like 3.5 weapons to get a tier 4 or 5 of them to get a tier 5 in this conversion, giving you those chances, depending on what you select, to get those items. And you can see in general, it is better going to tier 5 than it would be, say, to tier 4 due to the drop rates per 1,000 points ratio, as you see here. 12% with weapons on tier 5 versus 8% on tier 4. And for then armor pieces, it's 16% drop rate on tier 4 and 25% on tier 5. And then you can see the equations there, and it's exactly the same for accessories. So it will be best to push for tier 5s, getting those 10,000 points, getting that higher chance to get these, and then you also get bonus rewards. But again, this could all change, and we might not even get a tier 5. We might just get tier 4, requiring 10,000 points or 7,500, and not have this nasty chance to get the item, and you guaranteed obtain it like we have here on Global. But if this system stands true, and you need 10,000 points to get to, say, tier 5 in order to get tier 2 equipment, then it's very likely the amount of points needed will stay the same, and the amount of points we gain currently with these items is then as follows. You would need to save up like 5 tier 1 weapons, and that's enough to get a tier 2 item. And on Korea, well, that's just a chance to get it, but it's very likely they'll change it to guaranteed, as we have here on Global already. 100% chance to obtain it. If you want to save up, you want to save those materials, if you have the inventory space to do so, it could be well advised, because there's quite a big incentive to get this gear early, not just for the extra power spike in PvP, but also then to be able to sell that gear for a ton of extra lucent for people who are trying to rush through this update, and then also get these bonus rewards like these resonant fragments, which will help you gain a bit of a power spike through the extra bonuses you can gain through them. Again, I will cover in a later video. But ultimately, that's it for now. Just wanted to make sure you guys are aware that yes, tier 2 items will be available in the Material Transmutation system. So rather than spending all your excess gear and items right now, you could wait. Especially since here on Global, the only real valuable item right now is Band of Universal Power and Belt of Bloodlust, and even then, the prices on those has been plummeting. Overall, thanks for watching. A special thank you to my channel members for their extra support, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.